The Houston Rockets are starting this season with a 15-6 record. Now at the second seed in the Western Conference, the Houston Rockets are looking like one of the better teams. And we're going to discuss more about what's going on in Houston and what's happened and why they're really good right now. Because the Houston Rockets are really elite right now. What's up, guys? It's your boy Godson Jew, and we're back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the Houston Rockets and this very interesting start to the regular season, seeing as they were really almost like near dead last year, and just no one expected them to be at this point, at least just based on what we saw last season. Though there was some potential, obviously we saw their little streak that they had that showed potential in flashes. We didn't really expect this like insane elevation from the team, but there are a lot of factors that we're going to get into on why they got to this point. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like and subscribe so you don't miss another video. I'm going to be making videos every week, so make sure to turn on notifications so you're in tune for every new video. Fred VanVleet had an amazing game with 38 points coming all in 35 minutes of basketball. And Alperen Sengun had his Jokic-esque stats, of course, like he usually does, with 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists, a near triple-double. And there was a lot of supporting players like Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith, Jalen Green, Thompson, Tari Eason, just really putting in their 2 cents in the game as well. And it all led to a Rockets win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. If you didn't know already, the Houston Rockets are back. And unlike the 2022 Utah Jazz, I don't think it's fake. I do think they're legit. One key factor why I think that's the case is the team has bought into the culture of defense overall above anything. As the Rockets are third in defensive rating, only behind 2 teams, the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 2, their coaching staff. Ime Udoka is a great example of a player coach. He gets it more than most coaches would, but he's blunt and will keep you accountable. The Popovich method, I guess you could say, given that he played with Pop, that he coached with Pop for the San Antonio Spurs. And that method got him to the 2022 NBA Finals with the Boston Celtics. So I really think it was just a matter of him just getting a feel for the team's personalities, seeing what really needed to be taken out of the team and what needed to be brought in, and establishing his defensive and offensive coaching mastery and putting out full display once again for the Houston Rockets. The first person I really want to talk about and why the Rockets have been successful is Alperen Sengun. He is what starts and ends this entire run with the Rockets. He is the guy. He is their leader. And I really think Alperen Sengun has a lot of potential to really be one of the more dominant centers in the league, like near the levels of Jokic dominant. His elite passing and high basketball IQ, getting teammates involved, and his really good shooting is what separates him from more centers in the league. And he kind of gives Jokic vibes in that sense, where he's able to just really see the floor and see his teammates the way a guard would see his teammates. It's actually really stunning and just amazing to see. And I do need to give a shout out to Fred VanVleet, to be honest, because when he was traded to the Rockets from the Toronto Raptors, I won't lie, I did expect like a max contract type of season where he kind of just take over the Rockets. And though he hasn't done that, I will say he's definitely put himself in like a role player role that just really is more effective. And he's kind of been able to adjust to this new role and this new adjustment to the team. And he's still effective, just like he was this recent game against the Rockets, where he dropped 38 points. Even as someone who isn't the #1 guy, he knows when he has to have big games and clutch performances. Another thing we do need to mention are the bench players, especially Tari Eason and Amen Thomas, who we got to talk about the Rockets. Those two have been dominating and probably been one of the best benches. Just them alone have made one of the best benches in the league this season so far. They together are averaging about 22 points for the Houston Rockets coming off the bench, and really adding a lot of defensive and mobile, offensively sound techniques for the Houston Rockets coming off the bench. They add a lot of scoring output and defensive intensity for them, and I'm definitely seeing a lot more defensive effort from the Houston Rockets coming from last season, and that's been the biggest thing. I think the Rockets are looking really good overall as a team, and I really do think that we should take into account at least the legitimateness of them as playoff contenders and just a playoff team overall. I think we have been kind of just looking too much at the fact that, oh, you're a number 2 seed, or you're like just become good all of a sudden, so that just automatically means contenders. I'm not going to say the Rockets are a contender, but I definitely see them as a playoff team. One thing I didn't know, and there's a reason why, was Jalen Green. Overall, his impact throughout the season hasn't been the best. I enjoyed his run last year, and I do think that Jalen Green's a great player. By no means am I saying he's a bad player. I just think he isn't a great fit for Alperen Sengun. And I do think that they need to consider finding a better guard to pair up with Alperen Sengun. Now, who will that be? I'm not sure. And who knows if they already have that guard in Reece Shepherd. But they definitely need to start thinking about moving Jalen Green, in my personal opinion. He's been great offensively, but I think he's just not the guy to pair up with Alperen Sengun. And if they can find a guard that is around the level of talent of a Jalen Green to pair up with Alperen Sengun and keep these role players pieces, just like I brought up in the Warriors video, where you don't necessarily need to get another star to pair up with him, but just another really good guard to pair up with him with these bench pieces and these role players that really fit well with Alperen Sengun and just the whole entire Rockets system. That will be something that will be very scary for the rest of the West and just the rest of the league in general, because the Houston Rockets definitely are building something, and we really need to be looking at the Houston Rockets as a team that could contend eventually in like the next 2 to 3 years. Who knows? Even maybe like next year. Who knows? Just depending on how they build and how they move. But what are you guys' thoughts on this? Do you guys think the Houston Rockets are contenders now this season, or do you think that it'll maybe take a season or two till they get to that point? Or are you just completely nervous, Rockets fans, about if this will just be like a first season thing and they'll just fall off in like the next half of the season? Leave the comments down below and let me know your thoughts. And of course, as always, until next time.